Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Israel. Or you so-called descendants of, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You so-called Negroes. So-called Afro-Latinos and Afro-Cubans and Afro-Mexicans and my other brothers and sisters that are scattered abroad around the world. The one end of the earth, even unto the other. Alright? Check it out. I've been seeing a lot of my brothers and sisters. I know a lot of them probably mad at me right now because I always reply on their posts with something about scripture, because that's what we're supposed to do. The Most High commanded us to feed His sheep, and I cannot continue to allow my people to eat these abominable things without at least telling them what thus said the Most High. Now, whether they hearken unto it, that's on to them. You know, I can't force anybody to do anything, but it is my job to feed His sheep. Same as He told Peter, right? Feed my sheep. If thou love me, feed my sheep. I love the Most High for what He's done for me. So it's my job to feed His sheep. So they're posting pictures with pork, shrimp, lobster, you know. And they know who they are. I'm not going to speak on anybody's names. But when you see this, know that it's commanded by your God that you said you love and serve. See, these Sunday pastors are not going to share this with you. Matter of fact, in fact, they're going to continue to serve it to you. Because my church once did. I'm not going to speak on the name of it. But they gave us seafood plates and jambalaya and things of that nature. Now, I grew up eating those things. And I'm not here to say I'm holier than thou. But once I read that the Most High said, thou shalt not eat of it, it is an abomination unto thee, it is unclean. From that moment forward, it was brainless. You know, it was thoughtless. I didn't have to just ponder on it all day or say, oh, I'm going to wait, or He's working on me. No. If you want to please your Elohim, do what thus said your Elohim or your God. Okay? So, first I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 10 and read 2 verses, 12 and 13. Okay? And let's see what the Most High says about His commandments and what He says that you are commanded to do. So it says, this is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. It says, and now, Israel, what does the Most High thy God require of thee? See, God requires things of us. You know, it ain't just saying, hey, I believe in Him and everything's going to be all right. No. Because faith without works is dead. You know a person according to their fruit meaning their actions. Okay? Just like I can tell you I love you all day long, but if I come home and slap the hell out of you every day, do I love you? No, because my actions are showing something different. So the Most High, He said He require of thee. What doth the Most High God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all His ways. Not what we feel, not what we think, not what we want, but walk in all His ways. Right? And to love Him, and to serve the Most High thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Verse 13. This is the real hitter. To keep the commandments of the Most High, because we're commanded to abstain or not to eat these things. Okay? And His statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. It's for your good. You wonder why we lead in hypertension and diabetes and gout and etc. etc. Right? Because we're putting things in our body that don't belong. And then another thing a lot of our people love to say is, well, what are we going to eat then? We ain't going to have nothing to eat. That's false. I'll tell you this now, that is false. Why I say that? Let's go back to the ark and Noah. The Most High put on that ark 7 pair of every clean animal and only 2 pair of every unclean. So if you think in these stores they have this abundance of all this unclean, how much the more is there of the clean? Let that sink in. Now let's go to the real meat of this project. Okay. Leviticus chapter 11. What beast may be eaten? Alright. See, the Most High tells us what we can eat and what we cannot eat. Alright? Let's read. This is Leviticus chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 1, and we're going to end it. I'm going to end it at verse 12. It says, And the Most High spake unto Moshe and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parted the hoof, okay, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud of them among the beasts, that shall ye eat. So it has to have all three characteristics. It has to be cloven footed, it has to divide the hoof, and that animal has to chew the cud, which is the grass, the leaves, things of that nature, like deer and moose and ox and cattle and sheep and goats. Okay? It says, Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud. Now, there's some animals that chew the cud, but we're commanded not to eat them. Let's see why. Because they're not cloven-footed and they do not divide the hoof. It says, Of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Camels, horses, things of that nature, they have the cloven foot, but it doesn't divide to make it have two toes. You understand? It doesn't divide the hoof. Therefore, he is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. See, the Most High keeps reiterating that to let you know why I made that animal unclean to you. So when you hunters go out there, y'all like to eat squirrel and rabbit and all that different stuff, the Most High said it is unclean unto you. Yeah, it might taste good. He didn't say it wasn't going to taste good, but he said it was unclean unto you. It's unclean unto you. That means it's going to do something bad to your body. And the hare, there it is, the rabbit, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Now here's your favorite, guys. And the swine, and the oink, the pig. Though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. So he had two of the characteristics, but one of them he lacked. He didn't chew the cud. They eat trash. Those are garbage disposal. If you ever watched the Flintstones growing up, it's a cartoon about the cave people. They had the pig under the sink because he eats the trash. He was the garbage disposal. So if he's the garbage disposal and his body is designed to break down trash, what do you think it's doing to your body when you consume it? It's breaking you down slowly and surely. That's why you get hypertension. You understand? Pig doesn't have sweat glands. They can't sweat. Saturated in salt. Why you get those headaches? Like, oh shit, my head hurts. Yeah, that's why. He is unclean unto you. Let's see what else the Most High said. He says, Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. Leave it alone. Don't eat it. It's unclean to you. Not because Jeremiah said it, or Yirmiyahu said it, because the Most High said it. Alright? Now we're going to talk about the fish, because you guys are eating these crawfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, alligator, all that. And I can relate. I grew up Creole. I've eaten it all too, once upon a time. Until I read what thus said the Lord, who I say I love and serve, said don't eat it. I'm like, damn, they ain't teaching us this. But guess what? I took the initiative and stopped eating it. Because you're supposed to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, and all thy soul, and all thy might. Alright? And you're supposed to keep his commandments because they are here for our good. He gave us these commandments for our good. So you want to be good, you want to live good, you want to be healthy, then eat what he says eat. Let's continue. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever had fins and scales. They have to have what? Fins and scales. So that excludes your crustaceans, because they don't have fins and scales. They have crust. Your shrimp, your crab, your lobster, right? Stop eating octopus, because they ain't got neither one of them. Stop eating squid, they ain't got neither one of them. Y'all like that Kilimanjaro and all that crap. Stop eating caviar, because they don't have neither one of them. You understand? It says, in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So no catfish. Why do you think they put that in our neighborhood? You can always get plenty of catfish, but damn, where the drum at? Where the red at? Where the alligator go at? You know what I'm saying? Where the trout at? Where the bass at? Where the real meat at, man? There's so many varieties of clean fish that we can eat that has fins and scales, but they will not put them in your neighborhood. They're going to give you swai, catfish, which is pretty much the same thing. They are skinless. They're not skinless, but you can peel them like a rabbit. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no scales at all. They have fins, but they have no scales. They have to have both characteristics. Okay? All that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and of all that move in the waters, of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. You know what I'm saying? I had to share something for today, since I don't have a congregation or anything, but I'm commanded to feed his sheep. That's my duty as your brother. Alright? To some, maybe an elder. To some, I'm a peer. So I say brother again. Okay? It's to share the real word of the Most High. Unfiltered. Alright? Not of any hidden interpretation, but as thus said the Most High. And I pray that this word was edifying to some of you, and that you go and not only hearken to it, but go back and read for yourself and ask the Most High for an understanding, because with all you're getting, you get understanding. Okay? I'm going to post this to every social media site that I have. I'm going to also upload it to my YouTube channel, Caro the Master Barber. And, drop questions in the comments if you want to know about something. If I don't have the answer, then I go to my elders and I'll get that answer for you. But until then, I'm going to say shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Peace.